Yes. You know, this subsection 1512K makes conspiracy to violate 1512 a separate offense, subject to the same penalties as the underlying offense. Oh, the section serves as an alternative to prosecution under 18 U.S. Code 371 that outlaws conspiracy to violate any federal criminal statute. Yes. Now, the Pinkerton doctrine, yes. We looked at one of those doctrines, yes. But I found it interesting that accomplices to a violation of subsection 1512A, yes, may incur criminal liability by operation of 18 U.S. Code 234 or 373. Treats accomplices before the fact as principals. That is, it declares that those who command, procure, or aid or abet in the commission of a federal crime by another are to be sentenced as if they committed the offense themselves. Now, as a general rule, yes, in order to aid and abet another to commit a crime, it is necessary that a defendant in some sort associate, uh, I don't have the rest of it. Yes, obstructed a proceeding. United States Rodriguez. Preclude trial within the district obstruction, that is the nexus to an obstruction committed with the United States. A legal analysis where a federal crime may be tried. Yes. Now I put this here, a little stamp on this one. Whoever commits an offense against the United States or aids, abets, counsels, commands, induces, or procures its commission is punishable as a principle. Yeah. Whoever willfully causes an act to be done which, if directly performed by him or another, would be an offense against the United States. Yes. Now there's bullet point 23, a general rule. A crime occurs in the venues thus proper where the conduct element occurs, where a crime consists of distinct parts which are different localities. You remember that Jekyll and Hyde versus the United States? Yes, yes, yes. Co-conspirators. Oh. Now, let me see. I send to every police officer in the Port Angeles. Well, when you email 2 to 3,000 emails a day, yes. And I included every email address of every officer in the Port Angeles Police Department. That when you issued a protection order in 2011, yes, you gave custody of my sons to my wife, right? Now, I was an actual resident here, so I didn't have a mailing address in Washington State. But then you decided to arrest me, and then you reissued it, without any attempt of actual notice or opportunity to be heard. And then you used a minute order while I was on trial. Yes. Now, this happens to be a very big crime. And then you had a motion hearing, right? And then you reissued the protection order, Commissioner Kniebs, yes. And then there was the declaration of Pastor Greg Miller where I didn't actually get notice of the court hearings. I never read the declaration itself. Oh, true. Brent Baisden, order modifying terms, yes, from 10-2 to 10-12 of 2012. Yeah. Now, what address did he use at that time? Was it 1023 Kitchen Dick Road? Well, why didn't you mail me notice of court hearings? It's not that Brent Baisden as the president of the Mormon Church, and then Pastor Greg Miller of the Baptist Church, and Pastor Mike Van Proyen of Kingsway Foursquare Church. They didn't actually know each other. And then motion hearing, order reissuing temporary protection order. Yes. 1026 and then 1012. Sheriff's return of service on 1016 of 2012. Yes. Where did you serve me? Was it at the fifth wheel? Because in 2012 I was living at 1023 Kitchen Dick Road. Yes. And then order modifying terms protection order. Yes. Mm. Now, did you serve me 5 judicial days before the court hearing where you decided? Well, you had another motion hearing. You remember that? And then you had another motion hearing, but I don't see any attempt of service. Yes. Now, if you served me at the location 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, why didn't you serve me again? Why didn't you mail it to me? Sheriff's return of service on 10/31 of 2012. Sheriff's return of service twice. Yeah. Did you serve me twice on the same day, or did you serve somebody other than myself? Where was the actual location? Was it Pastor Mike Van Proyen's church that you served me? Did you serve someone other than the respondent, coach? Or did you serve me twice at the same time and I just don't remember exactly? Well, you petitioned the court, right, to renew a protection order on 7/5, yes, for a court hearing, right, 7/15 of 2013. What address was used? Was it 1023 Kitchen Dick Road? Wait a second, I didn't live there. Oh, don't you remember when he kicked me out in the middle of winter in 2012? Well, what address did you use that, well, for every time you issued a protection order, what address was used? Well, let's say the petitioner used a fraudulent address. You remember I was talking about her being a witness? Wouldn't it be something fraudulent to put the last known address knowing I wasn't there? Yes. Now it says Sheriff's return of service on July 15th of 2013. Yes. Where was I at? Why don't I remember that? I was at my grandmother's for Christmas of 2012. I moved back here. Yes. You did call me on the telephone, but that was in August. Who was it that you served and what was the address that you used as the actual location? Well, you had order reissuing protection order? Yes. And then it was a temporary protection order, but you had a court hearing on August 30th of 2013? Yeah. Yeah. And that was mail and publication. What address was used as the mailing address? It wasn't 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, was it? No. I did stay in the Serenity House in 2013. And then I stayed there for 3 months. Yes. Why don't we call the Serenity House and find the actual months that I was a resident there? I was in the 90-day program. Yes. And I was kicked out of my grandmother's house in 2013 after the dissolution of marriage. I stayed at a friend's house for 3 weeks and then I was asked to leave. She dropped me at the bus stop after there were no more buses running from school. A friend gave me a ride to the Serenity House. I stayed there for 3 months. It was June of 2013, folks. And then I stayed at my cousin Debbie Lemke's house. I don't remember being served there during the month of July of 2013. Well, who was it that you served? What was the address of the proof declaration of Heidi Budnick on July 30th of 2013? Well, I'm sure my mom did know that I was staying at my second cousin's. It was my Uncle Ray and Aunt Sue's, my father's uncle that lives in Clallam County. Good for you. Now, for every time the petitioner intentionally sent it to a wrong address, yes, or used a wrong address as notice of court hearings, I'm going to have to sue my soon to be ex wife that I'm going to want to have imprisoned for child abduction and kidnapping. Now, exactly whose witness is she? Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head of law enforcement, can you tell me exactly? Well, I was at Debbie Lemke's house. I have a cousin that is not by marriage that works for Herman Munster Logging. Yes, he runs a loader, at least the last time I lived there in 2000, about 5 years ago. Yes, he was a loader operator that loaded pulp for the pulp. Now, proof of mailing, exactly what was the address? You mean my soon to be ex wife committed fraud?